Dale la mano y regresa. Touch gloves, go back to your corner.
Mayorga comes across the ring and tries for one big right-handed shot. Let's see if he'll swing away for another one here in the first round. Another swing over the top of the right hand by Mayorga.
He's not going to run too much.
Strategy and Mayorga didn't belong in the same book, much less.
Mosley is clearly intent on trying to match fire with fire in the early going, as he said yesterday. To make him react to me. Good right hand by Mosley. Hoya, who was more relaxed at that phase of the fight than Mosley is, put him on his back with a left hook 56 seconds into the first round. From that point on, it was pretty easy for Oscar. There's a chopping right hand for Mayorga. And the same kind of thing.
Stop.
I think technically, as the fight goes on, what he should do when he has the limited skills he has, he's trying to overpower Shane.
Another good 1-2 for Mosley. Hoya, his best insulting line was to say, washing dishes at home.
And she knows boxing too.
Very respected.
That's what he wants to stand. He feels that he can land shorter, straighter punches and beat.
Mayorga's trying to win the round.
Both the first round and the second round.
Good left hook by Mosley as Mayorga walked right into it. No question with Shane Mosley
for himself.
I think, Shane is not so much of a boxer. He's a fighter.
No, you're right.
More. And so he's just having a hard time because that's not what he normally does.
No, he's never been having an authoritative jab. He has a jab, but it's more of a...
4 out of 44, so if they're scoring for Mayorga, it's because he's throwing.
Psychiatrist who had to sit down with Mayorga.
Well, of course, maybe Mayorga is exactly the subject that a psychiatrist is looking for. Good right hand by Shane Mosley. And catch him with something big as Mayorga lunges forward. Shane is beginning to put more of an offensive imprint on the fight.
Shane has never been a real big physical guy. He's out.
That a lot of what happened in the first 3 rounds was Shane simply waiting for the storm to subside and waiting for Mayorga's energy level to go down. And there's a lead left hook by Shane Mosley. And a perfect right hand. Right hand inside by Mayorga, beating Mayorga to the punch with the left hand there.
Defense, he doesn't really go underneath, he doesn't roll it, he just takes it.
Mayorga with an uppercut as he's coming in.
He's not a big puncher, and even his right hand is there, he lands it, but he's not a power puncher, but Shane actually likes to fight though.
So now, are you suggesting, Emmanuel, that Jack really knows it's the 6th round, but decided to tell Shane it was the 7th?
Well, you notice I'm always asking.
It's round 10. I don't really know.
Okay, which isn't a bad idea, but...
I may be wrong, but I looked at the expression in Mayorga's face at the end of the last round. It looked like he's starting to give a little bit emotionally.
Oh yeah, well, the gap in technical skills is starting to show up in a big, big way. And this is the thing about Mayorga.
He's trying to bait him.
And that's exactly what Shane is doing, too. He's fortunate Shane is not a super big puncher, and the fact that he's physically so large, he can take those punches. But Shane is giving him everything he wants. He wants more, he's giving him more.
Left hook by Mosley. Mayorga says, oh, hit me again. And Mosley hits him twice with the left hook to the head and the body and busts him with a right cross. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
I get you 58, 56, and since then it's all Shane Mosley. I mean, he's landed all the Cleveland shots.
Control mentally.
Well, remember, he comes into the ring.
He can take it all night. The same punches that he's landed, if the guy was the same size,
is heavier. somehow gulled Forrest into fighting his fight. Disciplined enough as a boxer against Mayorga. And of course, you pointed out
Forrest is also a veteran fighter who fights.
the rate of power punches. The further he goes up in weight, the more he feels compelled to fight as opposed to box. The more he reduces his game to power punches instead of boxing. Certainly he's succeeded in making Shane wary of him again.
Yep. And there's a good left hook he landed on Shane. Even though it wasn't clean, I think just his size made it be effective.
Another good left hook by Mosley, off a right by Mayorga. Him to focus more on body punches.
Good right hand by Mayorga. I have the same score.
Mosley, or maybe even the other way. I mean, it's still a fight that could go either way. Who's gaining control. Suddenly, Shane momentarily stands in a southpaw stance.
Body puncher for much of his career.
Mayorga has spent part of this round somewhat on a bicycle. Mendoza to call a low blow against Mosley. Good right hand by Shane. This was more of a wrestling round for Mayorga, and Shane Mosley landed the punches. If he needed scorecard breathing room, he might have gotten it there. Dak Mosley has been a fixture in Shane's corner through most of his career.
But I've been very, very impressed with Mayorga tonight. I'm just sitting in bewilderment. Such strength and energy going into these late rounds like this. And mean sharp punches. Because he would have got tired, but that's not happening.
Mosley landing a couple of crisp right hands and a left hook of the threesome of De La Hoya, Trinidad, and Mosley, and he was quite clear. He said, oh, that's easy. Then you must think, if you say that De La Hoya won his second fight with Shane. But he'd like to have another fight with De La Hoya if we're able to beat Shane. Oh, there's a big right hand by Mosley, and another one right there.
Yeah, the jab is the one thing he can't handle.
And again, right into it. The man who's now the top welterweight in the world, Antonio Margarito.
Margarito is a very strong, but he's a conventional fighter.
He's a basic fundamental fighter. Doesn't do anything unusual, but he's just so
right
consistent.
hand by Mosley. Whipsaws.
His feet were doing
And
funny
a good
things.
left hook by Mosley. Shane is making his point down the stretch. And another right hand busts Mayorga in the chops.
This is what you love about Mosley. Right? He's got the crowd on its feet.
Just as he did against Oscar De La Hoya 8 years ago. Scintillating, fighting down the stretch of the fight by Shane Mosley. A brilliant 12th round. And he puts Mayorga on the canvas. That old 12th round magic. And he knocks him down again to finish the fight.
And it's a knockout.
The left hook.
It's a knockout. He finally got it.
Brilliant stuff by Shane Mosley. Mayorga just leaning into these punches as he did through much of. Shane Mosley walks in and says, eat this.
He's so sweet, he's sugar. Shane